Hi guys, nice to see you. If you are ready, let's get to work. Okay, so first cut out the paper pattern with a small allowance. Then prepare two pieces of leather that we will glue together. This is gonna be the main round element. Remember that these pieces should be larger than our pattern, because we need space for the tape, to stick the pattern. There is no special philosophy in gluing. Just spread it evenly with the glue you have, and be careful not to get dirty anything that shouldn't get dirty. After gluing, you should press together the glued elements. I use for it the brass roller, but you can also use, for example, a rubber hammer. As you can see, in the meantime, I glued the other green element, so now you can arrange the patterns on the leather. Okay, so maybe let's start with the beer coaster. For sewing I choose the French style pricking iron. Of course you can also do it with round punches, it's up to you. Okay, so now you can, like I did, make holes according to those on the pattern. Don't forget about the small hole for the belly button. Then, using a punch with a diameter of 3 mm, you can make two holes in the upper part of the bottle. This will make it easier for you to cut out the entire outline. Okay, the next thing is obvious. We can take a scalpel or a knife and cut out all the elements. After cutting out, if you want, you can now finish some of the edges to make them nice and smooth. I always try to do it because I like a relatively elegant finish. Then apply some water or Tokonole on a wool dabber and put it on the edge, and after that use a wood slicker. To paint the edges, I simply use black Fiebing's oil dye. Okay, now it's time to put the pieces together. We will glue the upper part to our round base. Before you started putting glue on the leather, grab an awl and outline the shape of the top element on your round base. Okay, now with sandpaper sand a little the area that you marked before. Thanks to this, the glue will stick much better to the surface. Spread the glue gently and precisely. Try not to go beyond these lines and maybe use a smaller stick or brush than I did. Okay, before sewing I finish and sand all the edges because I don't want my treat to be dusty. I use a mini Dremel grinder, then I take a wooden block and 400 grit sandpaper and once again edge beveler number 1. Okay guys, time for sewing. First of all, I recommended using a stitching pony for sewing, because you know, free hands and a stable object are essential. So now grab an awl and make the holes through the all parts of the leather. For sewing I'm using the saddle stitching technique. I'm pretty sure that most of you guys are familiar with it. After sewing I use a flat hammer to flatten the seam. Thanks to this it looks much better. Okay, so now it's time to paint the edges. Before painting the edges I recommend sanding them slightly with grit paper, for example gradation 600. The paint will stick better and our roller won't slide on the edge. As you can see, and as I mentioned, I'm using a roller painter, because you know, in my opinion, this is one of the best tools for this. I take the paint, not too much, because it will be difficult to distribute it evenly and there is a risk that it will spill beyond our edge, but also not too little, otherwise it won't cover the leather. So just try to take a drop of paint on the tip of the roller and spread it over a distance of about 2 or 3 centimeters at once. After a while we have finished our beer coaster, so now we can start working on the second one. The process of making the second one is, you know, almost identical, so I won't go into too much detail. The only difference is the moment in which we make the holes for the seam. This time we will make it after gluing all the elements together. So now, after I put everything together, I'm using the wing divider to mark the lines of our seam and punch holes. So now we have our holes almost ready for sewing. Of course, we will once again have to use diamond doll, and after that, you know, just sew it, paint the edge, and voila, we have ready our coaster set. I hope that everything was clear to you and that you like it at least a little. If so, I would be grateful for a like or a subscription, maybe even a comment. Thanks to you for watching, best regards, and I hope see you soon.